This is probably one of the most important videos that I've ever made. Watch this.
If I were to run, I'd run as a Republican. They're the dumbest group of voters in the country. They believe anything on Fox News. I could lie and they'd still eat it up. I bet my numbers would be terrific.
That is an AI voice of Donald Trump saying a flat-out lie that he never said. It's never been quoted. It's been fact-checked even by the left-wing media as false. Yet the guy that posted that has hundreds of thousands of likes and millions of views on that video, and people in the comment section are talking about how they remember him saying that. The crazy part is, it has never been said. Now, I'm going to tag the person below that posted this, and I would never ask anyone to go report someone, but in this case, I think it's fair. This person needs to be reported for disinformation. Because this is exactly what election manipulation looks like. When you fabricate something that a potential president never said, and millions of people see that, right? You can't undo that. People are going to think that these things are being said when they are not true. This is not okay. This is how far AI has come, and people in this country are too easily spoon-fed information and don't do their due diligence that people are just believing anything they see or hear. So I tagged this man below. Go send him a visit. Share this video because this has gone too far. Y'all can't win fair, so you want to cheat and lie and steal in order to make someone look like something they are not. And if you don't believe me, you can read it here. It says right here, we combed through every Trump story in our archives. We couldn't find anything remotely like this quote. It goes on to explain that this has never been said by him, yet you created a fake AI voice to lie and manipulate a campaign and an election. I think you should have a knock on your door.
Now, I want YouTube to know that I will not be leaving the username in the description or in the bottom below, because I do not want nobody going and harassing anybody on my behalf. That's not what this platform is for. However, I will say that I'm not in total disagreement with his approach, but that's him. That's his approach. Y'all know I gotta get this disclaimer. Y'all just read between the lines, okay? Just read between the lines. But somebody says he needs to sue immediately, post all key people in his team. It's just like this. People don't care to go do any research on their own, okay? And you got legacy media and propaganda mainstream media who knows this. So they're going to continue to do frivolous stuff like this. Now, I won't be a hypocrite here, okay? Let's go ahead and state the obvious. You know, we reacted to, just yesterday or 2 days ago, we reacted to a AI-generated fake ad that was considered satire. However, the things that were being stated were literally true. But yeah, it was a satire ad meant to be funny, obviously used against Kamala Harris. However, you know, if I'm being honest, as much as we enjoyed it and laughed at it, if somebody who heard that for the first time and didn't think it was AI, they could have been convinced like, oh, whoa, hold up. However, that AI was literally telling the facts about Kamala. Still, we can't, even though it was facts, we still gotta hold this. We can't use a double standard here. But that was the stipulations with that, at least. But with this, it's like they're literally creating audio clips that will that the left, you know, they that are gold for them. This is treasure for them. And if people who already don't like Trump, people who have TDS or TDI, you know, Trump derangement infection, people who already suffer from that, they're gonna hear this, run with it. They probably even clip it, record it, share it with their friends, and make it seem like it's gonna be true. And then they never get to the point to where they reach a factcheck.org and they actually find out that he didn't say that. Or if they find out that he didn't say it, you're gonna have people out there like, oh well, he said, I'm pretty sure he would have said something else anyway. Right? You got those type of people out here. All they have is lies, and they cling to Trump and Project 2025 in order to try to push, try to prop Kamala Harris up. That's all they have. They don't tell voters what they'll do if they win, the Democrats that are, because they know that they will lose votes. If they actually told them their mission, come on, dog. It's all scary. This AI thing is scary. We have some funny moments and laughing and all that, but it has its downsides to it. Let's read a few of these comments. If you have a TikTok, nah, I can't say that one. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. Stuff like this is why I believe absolutely nothing I see on TV. Yeah, that's the way it's looking, man. This needs to be reposted. Wait, am I crazy? I thought this or something very similar from, I don't even know what that is. Yeah, but anyhow, you can't put trust in anything these days in the new age of AI, man. You really can't. I mean, it has its pros, its cons. We can laugh at it, but there's also gonna be some times where whoa, you know? It's just what it is. But trust in the U.S. government is at 0%. Shout out to Wall Street Apes posting this. We, in relation to new developments with the Trump assassination attempt, we have the FBI investigating the FBI. We have the CIA investigating CIA. We have the Secret Service investigating the Secret Service. That's what we know pretty much.
So do you. The assassination attempt of Donald Trump really only proved one thing, and that is that we need a Second Amendment. Immediately after the attempt on Donald Trump's life, we have Congress trying to push through gun control bills. While basically everyone in America is very aware that the government is most likely responsible for that attempt on Donald Trump's life, we have the FBI investigating the FBI. We have the CIA investigating the CIA. We have the Secret Service investigating the Secret Service. You cannot investigate yourself, but that's exactly what's happening. So while the tyrannical overlords try to kill Donald Trump and try to damage our republic, not a democracy, we live in a constitutional republic, very different things. The founders wanted to make sure that we did not have a democracy under any circumstance, because a democracy always falls to tyranny. So every time that you're watching propaganda on TV, on Fox, CNN, that says democracy 2024, we don't have that. That's propaganda that is evil, that is demonic. We live in a constitutional republic wherein we elect representatives to vote on our behalf. That is why the individual has rights and a voice. A democracy says the individual doesn't matter, only the biggest group. Democracy is mob rule. But while we have this situation of the government now trying to ban guns after the government just tried to kill Donald Trump, using a transgender patsy as their assassin, who was a registered Republican, which he identified as a Republican the same way that he identified as a woman. Claiming something doesn't make any difference in the reality of the situation. He registered as a Republican so that he could vote for Nikki Haley, for the weaker candidates, as did millions of Democrats, which is why Nikki Haley was so high, because she was the one that the Democrats are pushing towards. They want her to be president because she's basically Biden but female, pretending to be a Republican. A puppet. But now, back to my point. When you have the government try to Donald Trump and then tell you, trust us, you don't need guns, we're going to take your guns. That is the literal reason that we have guns. So right now, I would as you physically can. Stock up on as much food as you physically can. Stock up on as much water as you physically can. Had that bullet hit Donald Trump, we would be in a civil war right now. There would be mass chaos everywhere. Grocery stores would be empty by now. Everything would be different. Then, as a result of that civil war taking place, as a result of that just public unrest, that civil unrest where everyone is going crazy, the government would call in the National Guard, they would call in the military, and they would declare martial law, which is where the military becomes the governing body. Here's the problem with that. Our entire military has less than 1 million people. 1/3 of our population of 330 million people, so we'll say 110 million people, own 480 million guns. So that's 110 times more than our total military. If our military came in and they tried to attack and hurt the civilians, that would turn it from a civil war into an immediate revolutionary war in which this country would probably have to either reset or never again exist. Those are the only two options, and I'm pretty sure that that's what they wanted. I'm pretty sure that the people in the government wanted to declare martial law so that they could disarm us. I don't think that they understood the concept of freedom the way that Americans actually understand it, where we will die rather than give up our guns. We will die rather than let people walk over us. Our government is heinously corrupt, heinously evil, heinously tyrannical. And basically, we're just waiting until you fire first. That's really it. The reason that conservatives, while owning more guns than anything else in the world, the reason that we're still calm is because we have a moral compass. Most conservatives tend to be Christians. We tend to believe that God is real, and we tend to obey God, which is why we refuse to fire the first shots. This is why you have people saying, come and take them. This is why I say that that's the hill I'll die on, where if you come to my house for my gun, it's because I'm not going to fire first. I will defend my freedom. I will defend my liberty. I will defend my rights, and I will defend my life. And if you try to take my guns, that is an act of violence. You are trying to render me incapable of defending myself so that you can hurt me. You won't. So will you. Back to the original point. The biggest takeaway that we can possibly have from the attempted assassination of Donald Trump is that we desperately need the Second Amendment.
It's sad because nothing that they attempt to do against Donald Trump seems to be making some sort of huge dent on anything that he has going on. You know, if anything, it just makes Trump stronger and stronger and stronger. But I appreciate this guy for spreading this message. It all seems unreal, but it was powerful and true. And it was something that we needed to hear. They're trying to take away our rights, and the timing of all this is just real fishy. And the fact that you got the people who needs to be investigated being investigated by themselves, essentially, that right there sure. What? Somebody right here says the surgeon cannot operate on himself. He needs to find a trustworthy outside group to perform the operation. Self-regulation is how we got into the situation. Investigate everyone and charge those implicated with treason, then eliminate the corruption permanently. But we know our government is so corrupt. They gonna continue to drag their feet with that. I got so many questions, man. I got so many questions. So many questions. Somebody said the government will U.S. foreign, well, I don't even know what that says right there. Let's continue. The declaration reminded us that we have the right to abolish it if it fails us. Well said, spot on, this guy. The one thing that wasn't in this very good clip is that the government will call the UN to help out. They're already waiting. Yeah, they got a couple people they can call for sure. A couple people they put a lot of money in their pockets too, by the way. The deep state is just a disgusting swamp, okay?